Now I did. Hello.
Hi, guys. Welcome back to Shelf Life. I'm Leah.
I'm Val.
And today we are at Grounded at the Onalaska Y.
Mm-hmm.
And I got myself a big old peppermint mocha.
Ditto. Just a little one.
Yeah. The size difference is actually kind of crazy.
It's nuts.
Yeah. But anyways, it's really good. I'm going to give it an 8 out of 10.
Yeah. I think I've had 4 of these from Grounded so far this season. It's like my favorite thing to ever exist. I love a peppermint mocha.
Yeah,
when I made peppermint syrup at home, and I've been like peppermint all over the place.
Mm-hmm. I mean, it is the holiday season. Christmas, snow, winter, whatever, it's all here.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Unfortunately, it snowed already, which is yeah. I don't have a
it's
question.
pretty to look at.
I don't think it's pretty. I do not love the snow.
You don't?
Mm-mm.
I really like when the snow is like in a tree, just on all the branches.
Okay, I do like that.
Yeah, my grandma sent me a picture actually. I need to show you. It backs up my theory. Like that is gorgeous.
That is gorgeous.
Yeah.
I will,
You
yeah.
guys want to see?
Yeah, I think snow can be really pretty. I think it's pretty for about the first 30 seconds after it falls, and then everybody walks in it and it gets all muddy.
Yeah.
And like, I'm just a winter hater, to be so for real.
I don't like winter either.
No.
Yeah.
The cold is just not it for me, personally.
I am looking forward to actually doing like a winter couples session. So if you're listening and if you need couples pictures, this is me advertising myself to take your pictures.
And if you're listening and you're single and want to take a couple pictures with me, this is your advertisement.
Alice
Actually,
looking
it's my
for a man.
advertisement. No, I don't want one. Anyways. That was just funny. I don't know. Anyways, I don't have a question.
I'm trying to think of one, but I don't know.
Do you want to share a hi, LO?
Sure. Okay, well, a high was obviously the last week was Thanksgiving, so I ate a lot of food, like a lot of food. However, on the same note, all of last week I was really bad at actually going to the gym and like being active because it was Thanksgiving and I was away from my home and I just got lost with my routine, so I'm going to get back into it. I will.
Yeah, and that's okay. You got to take a break during the holidays sometimes.
Yeah. I don't really feel guilty about it, but it just, it's still a low.
Yeah, that's okay.
And Val, a high and a low for you.
I don't have any lows. I really can't think of any. I'm going to share 2 highs instead.
Yeah.
One, Charles is revived.
Yes.
Charles is back and better than ever. My other high is that this break was really productive in the sense that, like, I feel like I went home and I relaxed and whatever, and I just feel like I'm itching to, like, be back, be in a routine, and, like, be productive. And so, like, I wasn't necessarily, like, productive over the break, but I feel ready to just, like just kill the rest of the semester. And I don't know, I just feel like it was a good refresh, which I really needed, because usually I come back after Thanksgiving break and there's no motivation at all to do class or school or anything, but you know,
I mean, also that paired with the fact that this is your last semester.
Last 2 weeks. Crazy.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Like, when I was rounding to the end of my college career, that last like 2-3 weeks, I was not feeling it. I had no motivation. So I am so proud of you for actually like being ready to tackle.
Well, unfortunately, I have 2 weeks left of lacrosse school.
Yeah, that's right. I keep forgetting.
I have months left of biology.
Yeah. Yes. Well, you're almost done with the most of it.
So this is also your advertisement if you're good at biology and can help me. I will pay you.
She needs a tutor.
I don't want a tutor. I just want someone to do it for me. I don't need to learn this. Anyways, okay. I digress.
Okay.
So this week we read The Book Thief by Markus Zusak.
Marcus.
Marcus. Ooh, I'm
Markus
completely
Zusak.
wrong. Markus Zusak. And yeah, so basically this book takes place in the 1930s.
Yeah,
right?
1930s through like 1945, maybe. Basically, like
Yeah.
through the reign of Hitler
Yes.
and the Holocaust. And
Yes.
yeah.
So yeah, this book takes place then, and our main character, her name is Liesel, and she is basically given up by her mom, and she is adopted out by two other people in Germany, and they're all German citizens, and she really wants to learn how to read, and so she starts stealing books and learning how to read, and without giving a whole lot away, this book is basically like Liesel, right? Or is it Liesel? It's Liesel.
I think I was saying Liesel.
Okay.
When I was
I
reading
think
it.
it's Liesel. I don't know.
We'll just both pronounce it our own ways.
But yeah, yeah, you know who we're talking about. But basically, her foster family ends up hiding a Jew in her home because they don't agree with Hitler and they don't agree with anything that he's doing. So they're kind of like defying it, but in a very like inconspicuous way. So
Yes.
yeah, that's that. There's a summary.
Yeah.
I like forgot all about this book.
It's. When did you read it? Like a week ago?
Last week.
It's been a rough week. No, you were just busy with Thanksgiving and. Yeah. Well, okay. So essentially, to build off of what Val said, it is basically just like portraying how German citizens lived during Hitler's like reign of power, and how even though people did not agree with him, they had to put up that front and they had to like follow these rules, otherwise they were punished. And like the way that the Jews were treated was so cruel and awful. But even like if German citizens were to stick up for them in any way, like at one point, Hans Huberman, Liesel's dad or papa, whatever, he gave some of them bread as they were like being marched through town, and then he got whipped in front of everybody. So it's a really sad story.
It is.
Yeah, but yeah, I don't want to say much more, otherwise I am going to spoil details.
Okay, what were your thoughts?
I think I gave it a 5 on Goodreads, because like I feel like this book just has so many details of this time and like what exactly happened. And I mean, I guess it doesn't tell you the gruesome details, but it gives you like more of the perspective on like the German citizens and like more of their life and how that changed for them. Also, I thought it was really interesting that this book was written through the perspective of death. Like, it took me a little while to figure that out. I was wondering, like, who is watching her? Like, what is happening? But then it was talking about, like, carrying their souls. And I was like, okay, yeah, that makes sense. So that was really interesting. But I just feel like everybody should read this book because we should all read about this and understand that it's not okay and that it should never happen again. Yeah.
Yeah.
I cried multiple times. Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. I really like the perspective that this book took because I don't really feel like I've heard a lot from a German citizen perspective. Like, I think it's a really interesting perspective to take, and I think it's also, easy to assume that like everyone in Germany like fully agreed with him and just be like, oh,
Yes.
Just put them all into a box when I was like, that's not necessarily the case.
No.
But yeah, it was interesting to just like see the divide between people who did support him and the people who didn't and how they were like combating against it. But yeah, it was just such a heartbreaking book. Like, it was it was tough.
It was very tough to read. Even like seeing that like the fathers and sons would be taken away from their homes and like forced to basically be in the army, that also kind of shifted my perspective on things because, like you said, in the past it's really easy to put them all into a box and just assume that they were fighting because they actually believed in the cause, but that is really not the case. And like families were just like ripped apart on the German side and on the Jewish side. So yeah, it was just very eye-opening, and yeah,
Yeah.
it just made me cry.
Yeah. I mean, well, that's how war was for ever, was like, it wasn't really like a thing people
Signed up
enlisted
for.
to do.
Yeah,
Like,
you were just drafted.
You were drafted. And I don't know. It's
I cannot imagine that.
Me either.
I genuinely, that
gosh.
is so terrifying.
I think I gave it a 4. I'm gonna give it like 4.5 because
Okay.
Goodreads doesn't let you do half
Yeah.
stars. But yeah, I'll give it a 4.5.
Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah. Now we get into more details.
I think so. This book, I'm not gonna lie, it's gonna be kind of hard, I feel like, to tell more details because it's like, it's basically told in like little stories.
Yes.
And it's told over like a 4-year span.
It might even be longer than that.
I feel like most of it, because doesn't she show up when she's like 11 and then she's like 15 or so?
Maybe. Yeah.
I don't know. It's something like that.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's just told in like lots of little stories, so much happens.
Yes.
I'm having a hard time even remembering everything that's happened.
Yeah. It also, I feel like it isn't chronologically laid out either. It gives bits and pieces, and then it kind of jumps around a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I guess it starts out with Liesel, and she is on a train with her birth mother and her brother. And this is when we kind of are introduced. This whole story is told from the perspective of death. So her brother ends up dying on this train. Do we remember what he died from? Was it the cold?
Yeah, it was something like he had like a cough that
Yeah.
was persistent, and
Yeah.
that ultimately got him.
Something like that, yeah. But yeah, so he ends up dying on this train, and we learn that Liesel's mother is giving her up into like the foster system. What we later learn is that her mother and father are communists who were also being like, they were also like a target of Hitler. So she was giving up her kids to like give them a better life and keep them in like a safe place. So we learn that Liesel goes and she lives with Hans and what's
Ruby? No, I'm thinking of Rudy.
what is
Mary?
the mom's name?
Rosa.
Rosa. Yes.
Yes, Rosa.
Yes.
So Hans and Rosa.
Hans and Rosa are like her foster parents. Rosa is like very hard on her. She's kind of, honestly, I think she's a little abusive, but
Yeah.
yeah, she's very hard on Liesel. She's really, really close with her stepfather, or not stepfather. Jeez,
Adoptive
my
father.
brain is like not in the right. Her adopted father, Hans, Papa is what she calls him. They're really close, and he basically like teaches her how to read. I don't know
Well-
how many more details.
Before that, so after seeing like her brother die, basically on this voyage, she ends up like getting nightmares almost every single night, seeing her brother's dead body, and she has a really hard time with that. So then Hans starts like coming into her room at night and kind of comforting her. So they really connect through that because like Hans is, basically a safe person for her. And yeah, so then she's up in the middle of the night anyways, and so is he, and she had stolen the Gravedigger's Handbook, her first ever book.
From the cemetery,
yes.
because the gravedigger at her brother's funeral had dropped it, so she like
Yes.
snatched it up, and she was like, I want to learn how to read, and Hans was like, all right, well, I don't really know that well, but we'll learn together.
Yes.
So yeah. Then we have another character. His name is Rudy. He is like her best friend. They both live on the same street. They're neighbors. They go to school together. He kind of picks on her a lot, whatever. But he's like basically in love with her. So
he is.
yeah, everywhere they go, every time they do anything, he's always like, oh, like you should give me a kiss. Like
Yeah.
I'll help you out if you give me a kiss, whatever. So yeah, that's Rudy.
To give a little bit more of a perspective on Rudy, there was like a little story about him and how he was obsessed with Jesse Owens, and he painted himself black, and then he ran around this track, and then he got scolded for it because like so many people were watching him, and this is not a time in Germany to be like messing around with things. And yeah, so his dad was really upset with him, but I just thought that was hilarious. But that really attests to his character.
Yes. Yeah. He was
Yeah.
kind of a hooligan,
Yes.
yeah, he was a lot.
But yeah,
Yeah.
they basically like to pass time. The kids play soccer together. Then at some point they start stealing things together. I can't remember when that comes into play. I feel like that's later in the
I'm
book.
like, I remember events, but I don't remember the order in which they happen.
Yeah.
But yeah, they start stealing things. They end up joining like this little band of other kids who start stealing things. Like they steal apples and then they go and sell them to get money for candy and stuff like that. Yeah, I don't remember exactly when that like.
I think it was right around the time that so okay, to also give more details, Rosa, she basically did laundry for the wealthy people who lived in this town. So she used to make her rounds herself, and then after Liesel ends up, coming to their house, she's like, no, you're actually going to do the rounds now, because it became such a financially hard time that clients were like dropping her, basically. And she said that if Liesel was making the rounds, that it would be harder for them to like let them go. So she essentially makes these rounds for her mom, and Rudy kind of accompanies her for that. And then there is the mayor's house. He's never home, but the wife always is, and somehow they end up like making a connection with one another. And the wife ends up letting her in their home one day when Rudy isn't with. And then she shows her like this huge room, like this huge library basically of all these books. And Liesel is like, oh my God, in love with all these books. And yeah, then she basically just like goes back to the house. I don't know if it's every week, I think.
No idea, but yeah,
frequently,
often enough.
Yeah, and the mayor's wife just like lets her sit on the floor and read books in there, and yeah,
eventually the mayor and his wife decide to let Rosa and Liesel go. At this point, I think they're only clients.
Yes.
But they decide to let them go because the mayor didn't think it looked good of their family to be using like services like that when everyone else was experiencing such financial hardships. He was like, we shouldn't be doing this because it just makes us look bad.
Yeah.
So they let her go, and Liesel is very like, she's upset because the mayor's wife tries to give her one of the books that Liesel had been reading, and she's very upset. She won't take it. And she kind of tells the mayor's wife off because the mayor's wife's son had passed away. I don't remember how.
I think it was something to do with the cold, because that's why she leaves the window open.
Yeah.
Because she like makes herself suffer, basically.
She is very like, she's not moving on from it. She's having a really hard time coping with it.
Yes.
And Liesel's like, my brother died, and I'm not pitying myself the way you are. Like, you need to snap out of it, whatever. Yeah. So that's kind of where the stealing ties back in. They decide, like, Liesel's like, oh, I know a perfect house that we can steal from.
Yep.
Because she wanted to go back and steal that book because she wanted, like, the rush of, rush of stealing it for herself. So she discovered that, the window was left open, so she would sneak in, and she stole the book. They go back several times throughout the entire book, and they steal pie or something. Was it pie? It's still something.
Some kind of food. It was on the desk.
Yeah.
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 But they steal from it.
I think it was cookies. It was on a plate.
Oh, it was cookies.
Yeah.
Yes, it was cookies.
Yeah. But essentially, the mayor's wife is, like, allowing this to happen. Like, she knows that they're stealing from them.
She like puts the cookies out for them to steal.
And at one point, she had stuck, like, a dictionary in the window, I believe, as well. Yeah. But anyways, she's aware that this is happening.
Oh, yeah, because in the dictionary, she wrote, like, she's like, I know you're stealing from me,
Yep.
but, like, here's a dictionary so that you can learn all the words in the books that you don't, that you don't know. So.
Yeah, which is so sweet of her to do that.
Yes, that was sweet.
But before this happened, I actually remembered, so throughout the book, we see different, like, stories with the soldiers, like, coming into town, and, like, we talked about them marching, like, the Jews through town to different concentration camps. But there was one point where they basically rounded up all the books and all the papers and everything, and they were having, like, a big burning, like, party, essentially. And so they lit all these things on fire, and everybody's, like, standing around watching. Rudy and Liesel are together. And then towards the end of it, while the soldiers are, like, cleaning things up and they're about to leave, Liesel is, like, closer to the pile, and she sees that there's a book that's untouched because it was wet. So she reaches into this, like, burning pile of ash, and she grabs this book, and then the mayor's wife saw her do that before all this happened.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, and she knew that somebody had seen her, but she was waiting to, like, be reprimanded for that. But yeah, she never did, obviously, and the mayor's wife had invited her into the library, but that's how it all started.
Yeah. So then another layer to this whole story is that Hans had been in World War One. And while he was in World War One, like, a friend of his that he knew who played the accordion was basically killed in combat. He was supposed to be there, but like, one of their commanding officers was like, oh, I need somebody to stay back and whatever. And like, they had volunteered him because he had good penmanship, so he needed to write letters for something, whatever. And so basically he was the only one in his group that didn't die. Because he felt really bad for his friend dying, he ended up going back and finding this friend's wife and her son, and he was like, listen, your husband died, like, I will do anything that you guys need in the future to, like, help you out, like, I'm here for you, whatever. So years and years and years go on, and this guy's son, his name is Max, they're all Jewish, and Max eventually needs a place to hide.
Yes.
So he travels to, where do they live? Munich?
Yeah, that sounds
Munich?
right.
Okay. He travels to Munich and meets Hans and is like, do you still play the accordion? And he's like, yes, I do. Get in here, we'll save you.
Yeah.
So they hide him out in their basement. And Liesel eventually gets very close with Max. They, like, practice reading together. He, like, works out and stuff, and, like, sometimes she joins him. But yeah, they're basically keeping him a secret and trying to protect him.
Yes.
Yeah.
He has a copy of Mein Kampf, Hitler's book.
Oh, yeah, I don't know how to say it.
I think that's kind of
Close,
right.
yeah.
So he had a copy of that book. I think actually Hans had sent it to him as a message, I believe, because it talked about Hans buying that book. And that's like, it's German propaganda, so they were really trying to push it, and they didn't think twice about him buying that book. But so he basically sent that to Max before Max ended up with them. And then he takes this book and he paints over the pages, and he creates his own book for Liesel. And it is so special for her.
I actually don't think that's what he does, because they end up reading that book together. I think he makes paper. Doesn't matter. Never mind. Doesn't matter.
Okay. See, I thought I remembered something with painting pages because Hans was a painter.
He painted the words on the pages, but he had made them and, like, hung them up to, like, dry.
Okay.
I don't know exactly, but I do remember them reading that book together.
Okay.
So
got it. So somehow he made a book for Liesel. Yeah, but still super sweet.
It was so sweet.
Yeah, yeah. I think he actually made 2 different ones for her. Because there was one that she was given after Max disappeared. That Rosa,
yeah.
pulled from the mattress or something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Shoot. Yeah, you're right.
But essentially, Max being with them just, puts everybody in danger. Liesel obviously can't tell any of her friends or Rudy because, the family will be taken.
Mm-hmm.
And it's really hard for them to ration out their food as it is, but then to add another mouth to feed. So, yeah.
We have 7 minutes left.
I know. So they just hardly eat, and it's really sad.
Mm-hmm.
And then eventually there's soldiers that come to they look at the basements of
they're checking out the basements to see if they're deep enough because I don't remember which country, but whoever's on the other side is starting to bomb.
Is it Russia?
I don't think it might have been. Was it the US bombing?
I don't know. It talked about Russia a couple different times, but I wasn't.
Remember.
Somehow there were air raids, and so they're checking to see if these basements are deep enough for protection.
Mm-hmm.
And they claimed that the basement of Hans and Rosa was not deep enough.
Yeah, but obviously Max is down there, so
Yes.
they're really, really worried.
Yes.
That they're gonna find Max, but they didn't.
Yeah. So somehow they got away with that. And then shortly after all of this, why does he leave?
So Hans, when the first group of people are paraded, I don't know what do they call when they're walking the Jewish people through the city or whatever. Do they call it a parade?
Yeah, I think.
Okay.
I think they did.
And a parade, that seems like the wrong word, but I think
Yeah.
that's what they called it.
Yeah.
He runs out, and there was
That's
one of the men who
right.
fell, and he gives him
Yes.
bread. And obviously Hans got whipped, like Leah said earlier.
Yeah.
But they decided to send Max away because they were Hans is probably going to face more punishment than just that. So they didn't want they didn't want Max to be put at risk by staying with them.
Yep.
So
Yep.
Max decided to leave. And then Hans was just very worried. He's I'm just waiting for the day that they come. They're gonna come, they're gonna kill me, whatever.
Yep.
He's very nervous. So all of a sudden, one day, a week or two after this incident, he gets a letter saying that he was accepted into the Nazi party and he was being sent to war.
Yes.
So.
And then on the same note, there were soldiers that came to the house of Rudy Steiner, and they basically, Rudy had he had been doing so well in school. Also, all the German children are sent to Hitler Academy, basically. I forget what exactly
I think all
they
the
call it.
boys were.
Well, the girls are in some kind of.
They would just went to school. Didn't
Okay.
they? I don't know.
I thought it was something. I can't fully
I don't remember Liesel going anywhere. I remember Rudy and the kid who was deaf.
Yeah. Yeah. So, I don't quite remember. Maybe it is just the boys. But either way, okay, Rudy was testing so well in school, and the soldiers basically wanted to take him away. And his father was like, no, you can't take my boy. And then the soldiers didn't like that, but they just let it go, whatever, and they decided to take the father instead. So Rudy's dad and Hans end up going off to war together. And it's obviously a very hard time because both of those children just lost their fathers. And then the war goes on. Hans ends up surviving yet another, I don't even know. The truck, basically, the tires blew up or something, and he wasn't sitting in his normal spot. Some man basically made him move, and then that man's neck got broken during this.
Oh, yeah, while he's at war.
Yeah. So Hans, he survived yet again through another war.
He got, basically what happened is his leg broke, right?
Yes, he did get
his
a broken
leg broke. So the medic or whatever was like, congratulations, we can't have
Yeah.
you anymore, you're going home.
Yeah.
So, yeah, Hans he was gone for like a couple months, but not
Mm-hmm.
a super long time. So, yeah, he comes back to Munich, and then these air raids are still going on. They're kind of becoming more frequent, so they have to go down to one of the neighbors' houses who had like a really deep basement. And they go over and just kind of hunker down there.
Yep.
During these air raids, Liesel reads to everyone there. There's a lot of sadness. There's a lot of
There
death.
is. Yeah. Everybody is
mean-
just very tense. Like,
Yeah.
they're just all expecting to almost be dying.
Yeah, there's a whole other storyline with Liesel's teacher, but I don't know. That's kind of a long.
Yeah, that's a lot. There's
That's
just
a long-
a lot of details within
There
all of the
is.
characters.
Yeah. Okay, sorry everyone. We had to switch to my phone because the camera ran out of storage.
Yes.
Somehow.
Yep.
Yeah. So okay. So
Basically, the air raids are going on. Everybody's tense. It's not a good time. People
Yeah.
are feeling very depressed. People are wishing for death, basically, because
Yes.
they would rather die on their own terms than be bombed.
yeah, the last several. The last like 100 pages of this book is just like devastating.
Yes.
It's so sad. Like the
Yeah.
mood is just obviously very down.
Yeah, Max. So every time that
Oh.
they have these parades with the Jewish people being walked to the concentration camps, Liesel makes sure that she's watching because she's looking for Max because they have yet to hear from him. They don't know what happened to him, and she's always thinking about him. So one day she sees him in the crowd, and she runs up to him, and she's like, Max, like, please, please, like, she's trying, I don't know if she was trying to get him to run away or what, but like, yeah, he obviously can't do anything because there's soldiers everywhere. So Liesel ends up getting whipped in the street. Max also gets whipped in the street. Rudy and her actually, I think this was the same time, or maybe it happened multiple times. But after Hans gave them bread the first time, Rudy and Liesel did that as well. They like put
Did
bread.
what?
They put bread out for.
Oh.
Yeah, and then they hid in the trees, and yeah, but this is a different time. So yeah, she saw Max, basically, like, she ran up to him, she got reprimanded, and then Rudy was like, what was that? Like, what were you doing? And she came clean, and she told him, like, what had happened, and she explained everything. So then he finally understood. And yeah, so that was really sad as well, because obviously, like, she thought he was going to be killed. And yeah, and then shortly after that...
So, yeah, so shortly after that, one day, it's the middle of the night, and Liesel goes down to her basement, and she's reading, because I think she misses Max.
She's writing her book.
Oh.
She got paper from the mayor's
she's writing
wife,
her
I think.
book. Oh my gosh. Yeah, towards the end of this, she starts writing a book, just like about her life or whatever. Yeah, she was not reading, she was writing.
Yes.
But the, like, air raid signals don't go off, the alarms don't go off, and Munich is bombed, and everyone dies.
Yeah, literally everyone dies except for her.
Everyone dies except for her, because
Which is ironic because they had said that their basement was not deep enough, but yet she was the only one to
She made
survive
it.
in that basement.
But yeah, they're digging through the rubble, and they find her, and they're like, oh my
Yeah.
god, there's someone who's alive.
She was like hitting a paint can with something, like making noise. And yeah, then they heard her, they uncovered her, and they brought her out. And then it was so sad.
So sad.
Because obviously she got out and she was like, is this still the same street? And then she saw Mama and Papa, and she ran up to Hans, and she was like,
I think she saw Rudy first, because they were bringing out
Yes.
all the bodies and laying them
yes.
out. Yeah.
Yeah, so, okay, she saw Rudy, and she ran up to him, and she was like, no, 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 and then she kissed him on the lips, and I lost it.
Oh my god.
Yeah, because that's all he ever wished for. Tragic, devastating, broke my fucking heart. And then shortly after, she had to say goodbye to Rudy, she saw Hans and Rosa. And same thing, like, she was so devastated. She lost her mom and dad, basically, and she, like, laid the accordion next to Hans, and yeah, it was just so sad.
God.
Yeah. And then I don't know, I can't remember where she goes after that.
It kind of just ends as like she's the only survivor, and then it cuts to the epilogue.
Okay.
Which the epilogue is basically talks about Max. He does end up surviving the concentration camps, and Liesel ends up like moving out.
It talks about her being surrounded by her,
getting married,
her grandchildren,
Yeah.
her husband, and yeah.
And then it talks about how Death, like, when he came to like collect Liesel's soul or whatever, he was like, I went around and walked with her, and he had her book that she had been writing, and she like he gave it to her, and was like, here's your book.
Yep. Yeah, here's
Here it is. Yeah.
It was just so sad.
It was a heavy book.
Yeah. It also, like, at the very end, Death summed it up with saying, like, how he took, I don't even know how many souls. Hold on, let me find the number. Whoops. Forgot there's questions in the back. Oh my god, stop. Okay. Well, what the heck? I thought it was at the very end, but I don't know. It talks about how many thousands and thousands of souls that he had collected over this war, and the last note is, I am haunted by humans, and that is just such a...
Ugh, I like got chills when you even read it again. Like,
yes. Like, reading about all this stuff that happened and knowing, like, what we know from, like, school and what we're taught, yeah, that sentence truly sums it up. Because what the fuck? Yeah.
Yeah. Do you have any other thoughts you want to share?
Do you think Liesel and Max ended up finding their way to each other and he was the husband?
No.
No?
No.
Okay.
He was like 24
I know he was
or something. 25.
I know he was significantly older. However, it hasn't stopped people in the past.
This is true. I like to think that they did find their way back to each other eventually.
Yeah.
But I don't think that they were like...
Well, no, because he came and asked for her.
Yeah. I think it would have said.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't think that Max...
Okay.
Yeah.
But still, they made their way back to one another
Did make their way
regardless.
Back to each other.
Which made me very happy. That was an ending
that was the
that I
one
needed.
good part of this ending.
It was, yeah.
But yes, I definitely, like, 1000% recommend reading this book. I will say, I watched this movie Forever and Ever and Ever ago, so my memory's a little faded from that.
Yeah.
But I do remember really, really liking the movie, and I actually think it does the book justice.
Okay.
So if you guys are interested in the story, but maybe the book's daunting or whatever, because it is a pretty thick book, I think the movie does a really good job.
Okay.
But yeah, oh my god, sobbed my eyes out.
Yeah.
Sobbed my eyes out.
I think I have yet to watch the movie. I don't think I have. Maybe when I was younger, because I know I actually got this book when I was younger, but I wasn't able to fully get into it, and honestly, it's probably a good thing. I feel like I would have been completely fucking wrecked.
Yeah.
I mean, I still was, but I feel like this is a really hard thing to be reading at, like, middle school age.
Agreed, yeah.
Yeah. So anyways, it is a very good book, though. It's a very good story overall.
Do you like that it was written from Death's perspective?
I do.
Yeah?
Yeah. Well, because being written from that perspective, I feel like allowed you to see all the different things that were happening at the same time. Like, because it talked about, like, all the different deaths in the war and, like, people, obviously, who lived in Germany, like, actual Germans and then Jewish people in the concentration camps, and like it gave you more of a conclusion on everything. I feel like, instead of being focused on like one family or yeah.
I agree. My brother actually asked me that when I told him that I just finished reading this book, because he's like, I've heard a lot of people don't like this book because it's written from Death's perspective and they think it's a weird perspective to take. And I'm like,
I mean, it's unique.
It is unique, but I agree that it makes a lot of sense.
Yes. For this story in particular, it does. Yeah.
Yeah. So.
Yeah. That's all we got for you.
Yeah. So next week we are reading, is it 5 Total Strangers or is it Rock, Paper, Scissors? It's one of those two.
5 Total Strangers.
5 Total Strangers.
Yes. It's a thriller.
Yeah, this is by...
I thought it was Ruth. No.
It's by whoever wrote The Dare.
Natasha Preston?
Natasha Preston, yeah.
Really?
I think so. One of those two are. Let me fact check that.
Let me fact check that.
Because doesn't it have a car on the front? Yeah, Natasha Preston. I would bet money. Natasha Preston also wrote The Cellar, which I don't think I realized that.
I read that so long ago, and I feel like I need to reread it.
I don't remember.
I feel like that one is very similar to That's Not My Name.
Did I read that one?
In the fact that there's somebody that was kidnapped. I think, if I'm remembering that. Please load. Also, guys, just to give you an update, I have 13 more books to read in 29 days. Will I do it? I don't know.
A book every 2 days?
I think if I really get into the Shatter Me series, which I was just telling Val earlier that I'm really enjoying it.
We just need to pick out if you guys have really short book recommendations.
Yes. Well, and we have Fahrenheit 451 that's coming up soon.
Yeah,
so
that's
one's
a shorty.
Shorter one. Why aren't you loading all of it? Come on. Natalie Richards. It's okay. So it was Natalie.
Oh, Natalie.
Yeah.
Well, who is this? What has she written? Natalie D. Richards. All right, we're going to fact check this all later. You guys don't care about this. Thank you so much for listening.
Thank you.
Yeah, follow us everywhere.
Yep.
See you next week.
Yep. Bye.
Bye.